The Krillner Dominion had conquered 17 star systems in the last solar cycle alone. Their genetically engineered soldiers, the Void Talons, were feared across 3 galactic sectors. Standing 3 meters tall, with reinforced exoskeletons and neural-enhanced reflexes, a single Void Talon could decimate an entire enemy platoon. So when Commander Vrax deployed an elite squad of 12 Void Talons to capture one isolated human outpost on the frontier moon of Callisto, he expected the mission to be completed within the hour. The intelligence report had confirmed only one human presence at the listening station. One primitive mammal against 12 Void Talons. Sub-Commander Zrath scoffed, checking his plasma rifle. "This hardly justifies my presence. This human has sabotaged 3 of our comm relays," Commander Vrax reminded him. "Intelligence suggests he was once part of their special forces. Consider this an opportunity to evaluate their best against our best." The squad deployed under cover of artificial night, their thermal dampening fields rendering them invisible to standard sensors. The human outpost was simple, a prefabricated structure with minimal defenses, nestled between 2 rocky outcroppings near one of Callisto's methane lakes. Through their surveillance drones, they observed the lone human inside. He was unremarkable in appearance, average height, muscular, but not exceptionally so. He was drinking something from a container and watching an antiquated entertainment feed. "Target acquired," Zrath reported. "Appears unaware. Permission to commence capture operation." "Granted," Vrax replied from the command ship. "Remember, we need him alive for interrogation." The squad moved into position, surrounding the outpost with practiced precision. They had done this 1,000 times on 100 worlds. The first 2 Void Talons breached the airlock, while the others maintained the perimeter. Inside the outpost, the human glanced up at the security panel as alarms silently triggered. He sighed, took a long swig from his container, and stood up. "Sorry about this," he muttered to no one in particular, placing his drink on a nearby table. Then, looking at the container almost wistfully, he uttered a phrase that meant nothing to the Krellnari surveillance AI, "Hold my beer." What happened next would be analyzed by Dominion tacticians for years. The first Void Talon through the door encountered something no simulation had prepared him for: a human moving with impossible speed, not away from danger, but directly toward it. Before the soldier could discharge his weapon, the human had slid beneath the plasma rifle, driven something small and sharp through a gap in the Talon's exoskeleton, and moved on to the second intruder. "Contact lost with Units 1 and 2, reported the perimeter team." "Impossible," Zrath hissed. The human emerged from the outpost, holding one of the Void Talon's own rifles, modified somehow in the 30 seconds since he'd acquired it. The weapon's safety limiters had been bypassed, and it glowed ominously. "Capture team, neutralize the target immediately," Zrath ordered. The remaining Void Talons converged, but the human was moving in patterns that seemed random yet devastatingly effective. He wasn't following any combat doctrine they recognized. He used the environment, improvised weapons, and exploited vulnerabilities in their formation they hadn't realized existed. From the command ship, Vrax watched with growing horror as his elite squad's tactical network collapsed into chaos. One by one, the signals went dark. "What is happening down there?" he demanded. The last transmission from Sub-Commander Zrath came through fragmented. "He's not following any. Can't predict. He's just making it up," as he then silence. When reinforcements arrived an hour later, they found all 12 Void Talons, incapacitated but alive. The human was gone, along with their dropship. The only thing left behind was the container from which he'd been drinking, placed conspicuously at the center of the unconscious Void Talons. In his report to the Dominion High Command, Commander Vrax was forced to acknowledge an uncomfortable truth: their conquest of Earth might prove more challenging than anticipated. These humans possessed something the Dominion's genetic engineering hadn't accounted for: adaptability. improvisation, and a reckless disregard for overwhelming odds when properly motivated. The Krulna Dominion had encountered many species in their expansion, but none had ever captured a Void Talon dropship with nothing but ingenuity and whatever beer was. Perhaps, Vrax reflected, it was time to reconsider their approach to this particular species.